No, this is crazy. They said this nigga got fired. They let Adam fire
Earlier
him.
today, it was
Adam
announced
be
on the No
firing
Jumper News that
everybody.
Almighty Suspect, a recurrent host on No Jumper for about 2 or 3 years now, has been fired. Suspect was fired for spitting on a co-host and pulling a knife out when an altercation broke out.
Niggas pulling knives out.
And you watch this nigga Antoine Dotson and everything else. I'm still gonna come to No Jumper. I'm gonna walk in and out this. If it want to do something, there's nothing but.
No, he do look like he came on time, and buddy, he look got the hood up, all black. He look mad as shit. He came on time.
Face an opportunity. Ain't worried about a light skin. No, period. So if that case, he's always bringing up fighting. You can't get a nigga bringing up fighting. Try to put it on the do something.
So,
But I just caught you one.
I feel like
Chef, you are a
guys.
What? He said I just called you one. You are a bitch. Oh my god. This nigga old as shit, got gray hairs.
Guys.
Oh my god, no way. I ain't gonna lie, No Jumper got the motherfucking. They love getting spit on and spitting on people.
Guys, come on. Come on, stop. Oh, chill, guys. Come on. I feel like
Chef, you are a.
Guys.
Look at Munchie B. He ain't gotta see. He know what's finna happen. Look, he got a motherfucking in that seat quick as hell. He know what's finna happen.
But I just caught you one.
I feel like
Chef, you are a.
Guys.
Look. Oh my god.
Guys, come on.
For calling him a B on No Jumper, and a lot of people were sympathetic to Suspect in the past because the person called him a B unprovokingly. However, in this situation, Suspect did call Brandon a B first, called Brandon a B recurrently, like during the episode. So Brandon returned the favor in calling Suspect a B, and Suspect getting up and spitting on Brandon and pulling out a knife when an altercation took place. A lot of people
That is
looked
crazy.
That as inexcusable. I've been a fan of No Jumper for about 6
Pull a
years.
knife out
I've
on
been
a
a
nigga for
host
calling
on
you
No
a
Jumper
bitch.
for about 3 years, and I've never seen Adam fire anybody for conduct on camera. Usually when Adam is mad at you or he fires you, and he really only fired one person ever, and that was Lush One for something that Lush did outside of No
What about AD and motherfucking T-Rail now?
Jumper in the Discord. But to fire somebody for conduct detrimental to, I guess, the workplace or things done on camera usually never happens. So this came to a surprise to a lot of people.
No, this is crazy.
The narrative on No Jumper, or how No Jumper is being perceived when it comes to the audience or to other members of hip-hop media, is that No Jumper is this wild, wild west where any and everything goes in gangland. So when they hear about somebody, spitting on another person or pulling out a knife, essentially, like, the temperature is, well, that's just what happens at No Jumper. And Adams is like, no. If this would have happened,
That is just what happens.
Still got a job. I think so. However, when you look at the current climate, you got to be able to read the room. The feds just came, took one of the hosts. Another person pistol whipped and beat up somebody outside of No Jumper. That's included in a federal indictment. You got the feds looking. You got the hip-hop media world looking. You got A-listers and celebrities and rappers claiming I can't come to No Jumper because right now it's looking violent. So Adam right now is very aware of what the perception is, and he's trying to change it. So once you're trying to change it and then this happened where another host pulls out a knife on another host, you kind of have to act. Now, I was expecting a suspension of some sort. I wasn't expecting a full-on firing, but Adam explains why it was a firing instead of a suspension.
I have an announcement. Many of you are probably expecting this. As of today, Almighty Suspect will no longer be a host on No Jumper. For anyone who's living in a hole in the ground, there was a confrontation last night between Brandon, a.k.a. Bucci Bear, a.k.a. Dark Brandon, and Almighty Suspect that resulted in both spit flying and a knife being pulled out. Both of these are infractions that I fear we just cannot tolerate as a business. You know, many times over the past couple of years, I've looked back at the Kelpie incident, and I have felt like I was a little too lenient. Like, I feel like that incident, even though we managed to skate, essentially, because we got Kelpie to sign off on suing us. I think it was extremely lenient of us to not fire Sus at that time.
Shout out to Kelpie, but he has to be one of the dumbest people on the planet. Kelpie the P is the dude that suspect beat up on camera, his first warning or his first suspension on No Jumper. Now,
beat him
see
back
the clip,
too.
and then we'll talk about why Kelpie the P is one of the dumbest people on the planet.
Who are you?
I'm Lil
Who
Kelpie,
are you? No
Kelpie
one
the
knows
pimp.
you.
Kelpie the mother
Clown.
You gotta know who I am.
Out of here.
Fuck Franklin knows who I am.
Out of here.
He
No.
knows who the I am. I'm
You
getting
said
money
what?
every day. I said
You
Ben
said-
Franklin knows who the I am, bitch.
Who you calling a though?
I'm calling you a
Damn, he loves spitting on niggas. What the fuck?
Looking back now, I can call Kelpie a
He
absolute
loves
idiot,
spitting
like
on
a
niggas.
moron.
Why is he
But
spitting
at the
on
time,
niggas?
we were really happy that Kelpie was stupid because we didn't want to get sued, bruh. Like, dude came for an interview, got punched on. We thought, okay, this dude is for sure gonna sue, bruh. Like, in his first interview, he's talking about how he was just homeless, so he clearly needs money. So when this happens, you got a lawsuit lay up in your lap. We thinking, bro, he about to take it, bro. He thirsty enough to sue. But, you know, we were able to convince them to take pennies. And, you know, and here's what really got him too, right?
Take
So
pennies.
he had every intention on
you
suing.
think- Hey.
However, he apparently didn't sue because No Jumper promised him that he would be doing additional content with No Jumper. So he thought he was going to be like a recurring host on No Jumper. So because of that, because of the clout that blinded him, he thought, okay, I'm going to sign over my rights of suing. In exchange, I'm going to do some content on No Jumper. He tried to do like one, maybe two appearances after that, and we never heard from him again. He never did another No Jumper episode.
What the
So essentially,
fuck?
bro, like this dude threw away his lifeline. He threw away a golden ticket for clout, and the clout never came because he never really
Clout
got
never
anything from it.
came.
Like when we look back and we see that Cassie got $10 million from the hotel that Diddy apparently beat her up at, $10 million. Kelpie trading in that golden ticket for a chance at clout, to me, is crazy, is moronic. But that situation, Adam, as I said prior,
10
became
million.
suspect because Kelpie called him a B first, and it feels like Kelpie was antagonizing it. This time around, Adam feels like it's the complete opposite. He feels like suspect called Brandon a B a couple of times, and when Brandon called him one back, he pulled out a knife and spit on him.
If it had been the spit alone or the knife alone, it would have been an easy decision. It being both of them at the same time, you know, it's an easy decision. Now, I will
Y'all is
address
tripping.
this narrative that I know that a lot of people are going to probably want to run with, since apparently
Don't go
Flacco
to
ran
No
with it in his
Jumper.
video. Lush, do you feel like you're at fault?
Not at all. like 0%. But I think the whole way it transpired is really unfortunate, and I wish that there is a way that it didn't have to have this result. Like I understand
Nigga.
from a business perspective why, you know, that can't be tolerated, and obviously, especially considering the negative stigma that's already kind of lingering as a result of the Loose incident and things like that.
A lot of y'all have been running with this narrative, especially in the Reddit. Y'all been running with this narrative that Poetic Flacco set all this up, okay? That I brought Brandon to No Jumper as a suspect kryptonite, knowing that Suspect and Brandon would get into it and Suspect would crash out. That couldn't be further from the truth. Suspect is actually my guy in real life. I love Suspect. I enjoy Suspect. And me and Suspect is gonna podcast together outside of No Jumper, okay? Like, I'm gonna have Suspect on my channel. We're gonna do things. So this is not a, Poetic Flacco don't like Suspect. Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, I actually tried to prevent this. When the idea was being discussed, I said, no, these two should not sit down together.
No, y'all gotta stop just throwing Dabo name around,
It's only
folks.
gonna end bad. We should not do
That
that.
is
I
just
actually went out of my
crazy.
way to try to save Suspect and Brandon, to be honest with y'all, bro.
Crazy.
So for y'all to try to put this as
He
a
gotta
Poetic
get
Flacco
banished,
suspect, it couldn't be further from the truth, man, at all. Now, they actually would explain. Now, first off, see how I just like completely took all blame for myself? During the news, that's essentially what would happen. Everybody was transferring blame to the other person, okay? Now, a lot of the blame from a lot of people got transferred to Lush One. Lush One is the de facto, I guess, orchestrator of what took place yesterday. Or at least that's what Adam said.
I was on the road, and for the record, in the group chat, I just want to lay out how this went.
Yeah.
It was brought up in the group chat. Adam's not here. Who should we have on the Tuesday show? Yeah. Lush said, let's get Brandon and Suspect together. And then, according to you,
you might want to scroll up a little bit.
You reached out to them, and they both, obviously Brandon was down from the beginning, but I was informed that Suspect was down for it.
And in the debate, too, he even brought up the fact that he wanted Suspect and Brandon to sit down.
Who brought that up?
Again, I ain't watching, but you told me that.
Okay. So let's clarify.
What the fuck is going on? They setting shit up.
As far as from a moderation perspective, could I have done better?
You was laughing hard every time Suspect said something. It was
Hey, stop trying to compete for King Glazer. All right?
Oh my God! Come on, man.
This is already my title.
Okay, sorry.
You don't need to cuff the balls that much. All right. So yeah, just.
It's not even like a situation of, we didn't know. I told you beforehand this would happen. And I laid down all my reasons why this would happen. And it kind of went ignored. And I'm saying is this, okay? Even with the aspect of, Suspect didn't know until the morning of, that's crazy.
That is crazy because but there's the thing, he got a new number. Yeah. And I guess Josh had been texting his previous number. I didn't know he had a new number. Yeah. Josh had been hitting up his previous number, but at the end of the day, it would have been nice for him to know way in advance, but he didn't know, and he ended up showing up regardless. Yeah. And he knew that he was going to be on camera with somebody that he doesn't get along with. And I see a lot of people saying, Brandon is so confrontational, Brandon is disrespectful, etc. Well, Suspect is those things as well.
That's one of the passes I gave Suspect and believe that Suspect should be back for a second chance because he was put in a tough position. Because his number had changed, that when they were texting him, letting him know, hey, bro, you're on a No Jumper show, as well as Brandon. So he never got the message. So when he woke up that day and seen the flyer, hey, Suspect and Brandon are on the show today, that was the first time he figured out Brandon was going to be on the show. He couldn't back out. Because if he would have backed out and they put both his face and Brandon's face on the flyer and he don't show up, the fans are going to treat him as if he was a mark. Opposed to
send me some money, then I can send you some money.
I'm not doing this podcast with Brandon beforehand, and his
till
face
then
have been on the flyer. Then right, like nobody would have known that he declined to show up. But if your face is already on the flyer and then you don't show up, that's gonna be like another storyline. Brandon's gonna have to head up on you, and it's gonna look bad. So he showed up, I think reluctantly, but feeling like he low-key have to for his manhood, and that's what took place. Right, he showed up. It got bad. They were already like drama. They already hate each other, and things got said, and that happened. I think it was a mistake. I think Suspect, if he had the opportunity to take it back, I think Suspect would take it back. I think Suspect is a much-needed podcaster. I think Suspect is phenomenal. But I do believe,
Stop glazing Suspect, nigga.